Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the shed. I am Lonnie, and it is Monday morning, and have I think about 60 items to go out today, and I think like 20 something box resizers. So it was a really good sales weekend for sure. If you watched the last video, I had a bunch of cosmetics on the end of the bench. I finished those. I did finish listing those. However, I didn't really touch too much of the rest of this. Here, and here is what's left to list. I actually took most of 2 days off, which felt really good. I needed that bad. So yeah, but now I have a lot of work to do this morning. Normally I've been pulling orders on Sunday, and last night I was lazy. I was watching football and just relaxing. So here we are this morning. Like I said, I have a lot going out, so I'm going to try and fly through these things pretty quick. And yeah, let's see what's sold. And of course, it's a nice mix of Hot Wheels, cosmetics, and jeans, and then a few other things too. But yeah, let's go. First of all, I just sold some more makeup. First of all, Colin over in the UK, he bought a couple more cars from me. He bought this one for $29.99, this Funny Money, and then he bought a loose one for $24.99, a Mob Rod. So thank you very much, Colin. Appreciate the business. He bought like a pretty large order maybe 2 weeks ago, and it actually got there. This is going out to Tina. Plush Up Lip Gelato lipstick thing. So thank you very much, Tina. Hope you like it. I appreciate the business. Then sold another Hot Wheels. This is a custom Barracuda, sold for $26.99. A couple of concealers that sold for $39.98. Smashbox under eye brightener sold for $21.99. A couple of Elizabeth Arden lipsticks that sold for $29.98. 3 of these makeups, Elizabeth Arden makeup, sold for $83.97. Another Hot Wheel car. This is a custom Mustang, sold for $29.99 plus shipping. The makeup is all free shipping. Just about everything else is shipping on top for the most part. Sold a brow shaper thing for $19.99 free ship. These 3 dolls came from the private pick I did about a month ago now, I guess. Sold these for $49.99 plus shipping on top. These are from Topper Toys. They're called the Go-Go dolls. Artist, baseball player, and I don't know what she is. What is she called? She is Slick Chick. They all have names. Slick Chick, Tomboy, and something Brenda Brush. That's her name. So yeah, 50 bucks plus shipping on top. Estee Lauder eyeliner thing, $19.99 free ship. Oils of Life, $14.99. This is actually plus shipping on top. And then the last thing for this first run is another Hot Wheels, a Larry Wood version 1929 Ford pickup that sold for $19.99 plus $4 shipping. Sold some Elizabeth Arden Prevage lotion with sunscreen for $49.99. Then some Elizabeth Arden, what is that called? Oh, Lash and Brow Serum for $18.99. Sold a pair of jeans to Ryan for $29.99. Thank you very much, Ryan. Hope you like the jeans. Then some makeup for $28.99. Some concealer for $19.99. 2 of these makeups for $35.98 for the both. And then I sold a contour stick and a highlight stick for $13.99 each to the same person. Another pair of jeans for $29.99. This cool belt buckle, that's from the private pick where I also got the dolls. $24.99 plus shipping for that. Then some more makeup, $27.99, and finally an eyeliner for $19.99. Another round. Some Estee Lauder eye pencil thing, I think. Yeah, eye pencil, $19.99. Some makeup. for $13.99, free ship of course. And then this is a really nice order. I actually got I got a message from a buyer, a potential buyer, interested in this truck, which I had at $1,000, which I always knew was probably a little high. But I just want to let it sit there and let a lot of eyeballs get on it, see if there was any interest. Well, yesterday or day before, no, I think it was Saturday, he messaged me and said, hey, I'll be willing to pay $800 if you'll take it. So I was happy to take that. I responded with offer $800. He accepted, and then before he actually paid, he actually bought, so he paid $800 for this one. Then he bought 2 more before he paid. He paid $109.99 for this Buick Grand National, and then he paid $69.99 for the El Camino. So that was a really good order there, obviously. And yeah, that's gonna go, it's gonna go priority, it's gonna get insured. I'm gonna require signature. So I think you have to, or eBay wants you to require signature, I think over $750, and this order is around $1,000. So definitely gonna do it on that one. Heather bought some hairspray. This Clinique non-aerosol hairspray for $19.99, free ship. Thank you very much, Heather. Hope you like it. Sold some Clinique eyeshadow, I think that's what it is, $19.99. Sold another car, a Gran Torino Sport for $29.99. This is from the private pick. There are actually 2 belt buckles. They're the same, they're new, they're in this cardboard sleeve stuff. $29.98 plus shipping for both of them. Jennings, Kansas, they both have scenes from. I think I have a few more of that same one. 2 things of makeup for $35.98. Some eye primer from Smashbox, 2 of those things for $47.98. Some powder for $21.99, and finally some Elizabeth Arden makeup for $39.99. Okay, an eyeliner for $14.99 from Clinique. Some Estee Lauder eye recovery mask, or recovery eye mask for $19.99. Some jeans for $33.99. Some makeup for $17.99. Some more jeans for $29.99. Some contour sticks for $29.99, these guys. And then 3 things of makeup for $59.97. All right, this is the last of account number 1. I do have a few going out on the other account too. But yeah, sold these jeans for $39.99. These are big and tall, that's why they're a little more expensive than the other ones. Sold some more brow shaper stuff. What's this called? Brow shaper and eyeliner for $19.99. Sold this drag dairy bus for $22.99. These 2 Lift and Firm eye creams for $35.98 total. This retinol stuff for $29.99. And then finally some cream cleanser for $15.99. All right, 4 more items going out. Cave Woman comic sold for $25.99. Sold a vintage Star Wars fig loose for $9.99. These are all plus shipping, by the way. Sold some Avon Unlimited lashes for $13.49. And then last, I sold this Blaze of Glory, what do you call it, trade paperback or graphic novel for $9.99 plus shipping on top. Okay, it's nighttime, and I want to look at some questions and comments from the last video, because it was about things I'd like to change about eBay, and y'all had a lot of good ones. There's some other stuff here too. But the first one was Mr. Well Off. When listing a new item, eBay should give some kind of warnings on VERO items that have been flagged before, or maybe some kind of VERO stats on them, on the item. I would pay a small fee for that information. Better than losing your account or being shut down for 3 days. This info would give you ability to research or contact the company before listing. eBay has all this info but lets you get monkey hammered. So yeah, I agree with that. Like, if if you're listing something, it's like, especially if you're listing something, not just VERO, because that gets tricky, but they could do that. But also things that are restricted items. You know, like if you use certain keywords, they'll say, hey, please read this thing about restricted items. Make sure that your item is eligible to sell on eBay or something like that. They could definitely help out with that. That would be a very good thing. I think that's a great idea. I've had stuff pulled before that was not allowed, especially when I was first started. Like, you don't always think of everything that could possibly be restricted. As a matter of fact, there should be a list. There is a list on eBay, restricted items, but not everybody knows that list. That might be something we all need to study a little more, huh? Like, there's all kind of stuff, especially when it comes to weapons and things that are dangerous, and foodstuffs, and badges, like police badges and uniforms and things like that. Some things are okay to sell, but most aren't. There's a long list of stuff. There's also stuff that is okay to sell, but if you type in the title a certain way, then it could trigger some automatic type action taken against you. So yeah, I agree. I think that would be really nice if they would warn you. Chris Buckley, my wife and I have been selling full-time for 3 years now. Just wondering your thoughts on item specifics. Seems like they want more things than ever. Speed is always a factor. At what point is good enough good enough? Thanks for the years of enjoyment. Okay, so I agree. Like, eBay is the opposite. Like, all these other platforms that are coming in, they don't ask for all this stuff, but eBay, especially if you're looking at the desktop, a lot of times when I'm listing, like, I don't even have the computer it's on, I need to log in, but whenever you look at the desktop app, or not app, but page, whenever you're listing something, there might be like 50 things with check boxes and drop downs and blanks to fill in. And I honestly, like, if it's something I have to put in, I'll put it in, but otherwise I don't put any of it in. I try and write a good title and have a good photo, and that's it. You know, have good photos and a good title, and that's it. And it seems like a lot of the other competing platforms to sell used stuff, they have simplified things, made it really quick and nice simple interface. But eBay is just getting more and more. They want more and more information, and it's like, I understand that they're trying to make it more searchable, but use some of that artificial intelligence to figure out the specifics for yourself. You know, and don't, like, I don't want to spend 10 minutes on one listing, because it's confusing, and it costs time is money, right? We always say that. So yeah, I put in as little as possible in most cases, unless it's a special listing or something. And I try and kind of scan through it whenever I'm doing sell similar to make sure, I don't even do a very good job of that. Whenever I'm like sell similar, I try and look at it real quick to make sure there's not something weird in those item specifics. But really, like, I know that the item specifics could screw you sometimes, but I don't remember the last time I sold something, shipped it, and then the buyer said, hey, in the item specifics it said this. They never mention that. They mention the title. If I get something in the title or the description wrong, they'll mention that, but they don't ever, like, hold my feet to the fire about the specifics. So yeah, a lot of people will tell you to put in all the specifics you can, and you probably should, but I fight that kicking and screaming. I do not like doing it, and I put in as little as possible. I am not a good role model for that. Matt G said, I remember you saying you couldn't wait to sell all your jeans because you did not enjoy listing them, and here you are selling them again. Yeah, that was before I had like a bunch of at one point I was buying used jeans a lot, pre-owned jeans. I could get them from this church sale for $1 a pair, and I'm like, man, this deal's too good. And I would sell them for, you know, $15 plus shipping or whatever. But man, the drudgery, I hated messing with them. And finally I had a whole bunch of unlisted jeans, and I was sick of looking at them, and I just gave them all to Goodwill. All the ones I didn't have listed. It was probably 80 pair, 60 pair, or something like that. And I made a big deal about it, and I don't know, I just hated messing with them. And then I went and bought over 200 pairs of jeans. That's why as soon as I bought them, I made it a priority to get them listed, because I know how I can get about that kind of stuff. And you know, new is way different than used. But yeah, I don't like messing with the clothing, but I'm very glad that I did the jeans, because they have been they've been very profitable at the price I got them at. So yeah, I know. I know, like, I do that a lot. I'm never doing this again, and the next thing you know, I'm doing it. But sometimes the price dictates, the amount of money you can make on something dictates that you go ahead and do it again. It's worked out though. I'm pretty proud of myself for getting all that stuff listed. Bagus Precoso. Lonnie, do you give them discount if they buy multiple quantity of the same product? I guess he's talking about the makeup, and I haven't done anything as far as like sales or promotions for buying multiple product or anything like that. My idea there was, okay, let me focus on getting all this stuff listed, get it all up on the site as quickly as possible, even though I still haven't done these things yet. And I know these boxes look big, but there's not that much in them. They're not filled chock full. But I've got most of the stuff up. But once I get all of it listed, and once the sales have been pretty strong so far, once those kind of start to slow down a little bit, then I'll probably start coming in, running some sales, small sales, 5%, 10%, maybe start doing some multi-quantity discounts like you're talking about. Things like that to try and keep this stuff moving if it starts to slow down as far as sales volume goes, because it takes up a lot of room. I've got a lot of money invested in it. I want to get top dollar for as long as I can, but then whenever I'm not getting top dollar anymore and the stuff slows down, yeah, I'll do what I got to do to move it on out of here. But I'm just not doing that right away. I'm going to give it a little bit of time first. This is from Gerben. Hey Lonnie, do you have a big list of blocked buyers, and what has a buyer have to do to get blocked and also unblocked by you? Well, it's pretty big on the main account just because the main account is old. It's been around for a while, but I don't add a lot of people to it. Like maybe one person a month or two people a month. Number one way is to just be rude and mean, you know, send nasty messages. Another way is to not pay for something, or after the sale is over to be a big pain in the rear. Or I mean, yeah, any kind of like weird, mean, aggressive, time-consuming behavior that makes me not want to keep somebody as a customer, I'll block them. And as far as getting unblocked, it ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Another thing, like I'll offer returns. Usually if someone buys something and then returns it just because, well, that's fine, they can do that, and I'll give them their refund or whatever, and then I'll probably block them after that. You know, which is, you know, they are within their right to get that get that refund and return the item. Is it like a buyer's remorse kind of thing? But I'm also within my right to put them on that block list. So those are just some of the things. But like I said, like I'm talking about this is not something I do often. Like maybe once or twice a month I'm adding somebody to that list, and it's definitely over 100 people deep. But a lot of the people, if you look at your block list, a lot of them aren't even active users anymore. Like their accounts have been shut down. So yeah, it's something that's necessary sometimes. Also asking a bunch of really crazy in-depth questions and then following up with more questions and following up, that'll get you on there too. Beverly said, Lonnie, I just started watching you. If you've already shared your background setup, would you point me to it or share when answering questions? I need a new setup. Right now, just using white foam board. Beverly, I think white foam board is actually very good background. So unless you have a specific reason to not use white foam board, I would still use white foam board. I took photos of over 200 pairs of jeans and I used white foam board for that. But yeah, this thing, I kind of like it. Like, it's good. This is I think I have a link to it in the description. This is just like a plastic thing, and I use these lights with it, and it's okay. It's not bright white. It depends on what I'm taking a photo of. If it's something that's dark, then I'm gonna probably crank the exposure up, and this is gonna look almost pure white. If it's something that's lighter colored, I'm gonna probably be using a not gonna be exposing it as much, and this is gonna almost appear, if you look at my photos, to be gray in a lot of cases. I do try and like light it from below with this light. Oh, I need to list that thing. With this light, I mean, it does a little bit, but really it's just not very bright. See? So I'd almost be better off backlighting it with another one of these, which I have another one right there, so I could use it. But yeah, I use this. There's another question in here about taking photos of clothes, and I'm not very good at that kind of stuff. But like I said, whenever I did the jeans, this is what I used. I rigged this up, and this is 3 pieces of foam board like you're talking about, Beverly. And my jean pictures, I think, are pretty decent, and this is what I took them on, just like this. I attached 3 pieces of foam board, and then I leaned it up. See, I have a couple of priority shoe boxes. Kind of a mess here. A few priority shoe boxes kind of stabilizing things. I leaned it up against right here at an angle and position my lights, and this is where I shot the jeans, right here on that piece of foam board, and I think the results are pretty decent. So yeah, and then sometimes if it's something big, I'll put it on the bench and the background will be that green wall right there. But I think foam board, white foam board, is actually pretty hard to beat as a background, my opinion, unless you need something else. All right, video guy Alan, I had a question about your listing all this makeup. I know you're doing a bunch of variation listings, which saves a ton of time, but my question, wouldn't it give you more exposure to cut back on variations and have more listings, giving more exposure with numerous listings versus just a few? The point is that there would be a lot more exposure due to a better chance of someone purchasing from you, as there are more listings to choose from. I may be way off base with this, but I was curious about your thoughts on this. Okay, so Alan, I think, and I used to be a little leery, turn this off. I used to be a little leery of the variation listings because I was like, well, it's probably better to have that shade in the actual title because it'll get more exposure to searches, right? But I've actually found, my experience has been that people find my listings just fine when they're searching. And here's another thing to think about. If they're in a variation listing and they're looking for a particular shade, then they might go to that listing where that particular shade is and say, oh, well, he's got more than one shade, you know? And I have quite a few orders where people are buying more than one shade. So yeah, I don't think there's a downside to variation listings. I don't. I think they perform pretty well, in my experience. Now, I would have to compare. It's always hard to say for sure, because you would have to have the control group and the variation group active with the same stuff at the same time in front of the same people to actually know, and then compare the numbers. But that's never the case. But yeah, in my opinion, I think variations perform just as solid as if you had a bunch of separate listings. And as far as having more listings, I don't think that necessarily helps. I think people are going to get there via search anyways. So I think your listing is going to get hit with all those different searches for the different shades or different options that you're covering in the variations. But that's just my opinion. Snorlax Jen. Hi Lonnie, I've been trying to buy a box sizer, but it comes up with an error. Sorry, box knife with scoring tool does not ship to United Kingdom. I thought you could. Is that right? Thanks, Jenny in UK. Jenny, I can, and I have before. I had some shipping troubles a couple of months ago when I was selling them, and it was just a big liability to ship international, because once something happens with that, now I've got the box knives, they're $10.99. Well, the international shipping on those can cost more than the box knife itself. So if there's a large percentage or a high percentage of problems with shipping, it was just a big liability for me. And I think the shipping is a little more solid now, so I'm probably going to open it up. I'll probably go ahead and add the UK and other places. But right now, I think I've been shipping to Canada. I haven't had any problems reported in the past month or so. And I think I've got Australia on there too, and I haven't had any problems reported in the last month or so. Actually, I've had a couple of problems domestic in the United States. So I've kind of been laying low on the international stuff, trying to like protect myself a little bit as far as that goes, just because of the situation we're in. Like, mail was not good. International mail was not good a couple of months ago. So, but I will go, you know what, I'll go ahead and open up UK right after I finish filming this video. But good question. Okay, Randy asked about the clothing. So I don't have a mannequin. I don't sell that much clothing. Sometimes I'll hang, well, you see I have a thing right here. Sometimes I'll just hang something up there and pop some photos. I do have this foam thing, but I am not, like, if you're looking for somebody to offer a lot of tips on photographing clothing, I'm probably not your guy, to be honest. You might want to go somewhere else. Okay, California Man, I just watched Craigslist Hunter's last video. He had to trash $72K worth of makeup. Do you worry of not selling your makeup products fast enough since you bought a lot recently? I definitely want to sell it. Like, I want to have, like, these are rough numbers. I would say I want to have like 75% of it gone within 6 months, and I want to have basically all of it gone, save maybe 1 or 2% within a year of purchase. And yeah, I mean, I definitely have my eye on that. That is a thought. Am I worried? Nah, I'm not worried. I wouldn't call that worry, but there are things you can do to control that. Like, at first, like I said, I'm just going to let it roll. Then I'll just use pricing, sales, things like that, promotions to you know, regulate the flow of it out the door. But yeah, I'm pretty confident about it. But it is definitely something that needs to be taken into consideration. And he had, the amount of stuff that he had was like, makes the amount of stuff I had here or have here pale in comparison. He had like huge gaylords of this stuff. So and I don't remember what brands he had and stuff. I need to watch that latest video. 72K throwing it away. But he sold a lot more than that. I know that. I know he got it at a good deal. But yeah, it's definitely in the back of my mind for sure. versus some other things where you're like, list it, and if it takes 2 or 3 years, who cares, whatever. Makeup ain't like that, for sure. So that is going to be it for tonight. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I will see y'all again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.